Hello, guys. Hope you're all well. Yes, so I wish to welcome you to this webinar. We're gonna start in a few moments, but I hope you had a good day. So in the meantime, you can let me know how your day was. Yes, in the chat box, you can react with an emoji that describe how your day was. I would wish to know how the day has been on your end. Yes, please do so as we wait for some people, then we get started. Yes, so you can react with an emoji. We have that emoji, we have that one that best describe your day to day. Also, if you can hear me, please react with a thumbs up. Thank you so much for the reactions. Thank you so much. Yes, I see with a thumbs up, I believe you had a good day. Is that my interpretation of that? And I hope it is so. Yes, so we are starting in a short while, but I'm so glad to see you all this evening. I know maybe you had other commitment, but you decided to come here and dedicate this time to join this webinar. And I know it shall be of impact to you guys. Yes, so thank you so much. Maybe I can highlight on whatever we are trying to achieve through this webinar. It's our first webinar. Now, yes, actually the first webinar or the first event, the event at KGBS, and discovering the youth. It's all about youth. And this is the launch day where we are launching the Youth and Student Program 2026, which is a very interesting program to see that you as a youth in the space of sustainability get to benefit. Yes, so as we be hearing from the different presenters that we have today, shall get to see the benefits attached to this program and how you can benefit you being a youth member. So basically, that's the focus of the webinar. You shall get to understand what we have, the plan that we have in the year 2026. Yes, so I also think if you have question, we shall have an open session for question and answer. Okay, so we shall have housekeeping, but now let's wait. And then we get. I see we have good attendance. We at 43. If we hit 50 in the next, I believe, in the next 3 minutes, we shall be good to go. Thank you so much, and let's have a good one. I see we have hit the target of 50. So I believe we can start. Maybe I was at housekeeping. Maybe as we engage in this, I would wish if you have a question, we shall have a dedicated session for question and answer, and we shall get to answer any question that you may be having. Yeah, so if you have a question, please note it down. Then we shall tackle it at the end. Yeah, so don't unmute in the middle of the meeting just for order and that we get to understand each other. Yeah, so we're gonna kickstart now. And we are so privileged to have our CEO at KGBS, Madam Nasra, with us. And she is one of the presenter. And also on the list, we also have Madam Priska, and she has her part in the presentation. We also have Michael. Michael is will be handling on the student part and on this program. So we shall get also to hear from him. And also I'll be presenting on the part in regards to youth. Yeah, so basically those are the presenters, the speakers that we have for today. I know they are well prepared. They are well prepared for this so that you as a member get to benefit from this webinar. So without much ado, I wish to welcome our CEO, Madam Nasra. Yes, so karibu sana. Let's give her some reaction as we welcome her. Karibu.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm feeling the love. Thank you. Once again, welcome everyone, and good afternoon to you all. So yes, my name is Nasra. I'm the CEO of the Kenya Green Building Society. And I really want to appreciate you taking the time to join us today, whether you're a student, a young professional, potential partner organization, or simply someone interested in the future of green jobs or climate resilient cities. Today is an important moment for us at KGBS because we are officially launching the KGBS Youth and Student Program 2026, a program that we have designed very intentionally to respond to a real gap we see in the market and a real need we hear consistently from young people. And as we thought about this program, and why this program, came to be, we were truly addressing the problem that we've seen in the market. So let me start with the why. Kenya's green transition, whether we're talking about housing, cities, infrastructure, finance, or materials, will only succeed if we have people like yourselves who are ready to deliver it. And yet again, when we speak to students, to early career professionals, we hear the same things over and over again. You're studying sustainability or you hear about sustainability, whether you're in engineering, architecture, finance, or any field really, but you don't get enough exposure to real projects. You also have, an eagerness to work or learn about sustainability, but you don't know where to start or even how to position yourself. You want mentorship and guidance, and having that voice that can take you from where you are to where you want to go, but access to these experienced professionals and leaders is limited and often informal, scanty, and not consistent. And many of you have ideas, have, if you like, leadership potential and the energy and the passion, but you have very few platforms to showcase your voice. At the same time, employers and institutions are telling us something else. They're saying they're looking for young people who understand, how sustainability actually works in practice and not just in theory. So we asked ourselves a simple question: how do we create a clear, structured pipeline from student to youth and eventually to green professional? And that is exactly what this program is designed to do. Firstly, what we are trying to do is to create a generation that is ready for the future now. So, to set the scene, the KGBS Youth and Student Program brings together students and youth members under one integrated umbrella with different levels of engagement, but a shared journey. So, we're aware, for example, that students are still learning and will therefore be in a space where they're looking to have exposure, orientation, volunteer opportunities, and inspiration. So for us, the youth and student program in the context of students is about inspiring you as a student, exposing you, providing you the orientation that you need to be ready to meet the real world. On the other hand, for youth members, we recognize that they're recent graduates who are looking for employment, or we have early career professionals who are also focused on now accessing, enhancing their journey in the marketplace. And so their focus is on skills, projects, leadership, and career pathways. So with these two, sets of people together, we thought it was a powerful way of bringing these two demographics into one integrated umbrella with the aim of doing a program that runs across the full year of 2026. And we're building it across 3 core thematic tracks, which are meant to address the things that I highlighted, whether it's exposure, structured mentorship, platforms, and etc. And when it comes to the thematic focus, we're looking at 3 things or 3 areas. Quarter 1 is around green buildings. Quarter 2 is around sustainable finance. Quarter 3 is around alternative building materials and circularity. And the reason we're doing this is because these are 3 areas of focus that are wide enough to create an ecosystem approach to what we're trying to achieve, but also specific enough because they are building on each other. When you have an understanding on what makes buildings and projects sustainable, then you would have an opportunity to then talk about how to make your project bankable, to understand or leverage how then you can attract, whether it's investors or partners, or even understand why sustainability is becoming, increasingly mainstreamed across the globe. Similarly, even as we are creating projects, there needs to be an understanding that sustainability is not an end product, it's also the journey. So whether it's a supply chain, which we're looking at materials, or even at the end of this project, we have waste considerations. The materials and the circularity components are important. So we felt these 3 topics are going to be important for you to understand and discover, because they give you a good grounding of sustainability in the context, not just of the built environment, but also where the market is going in Africa. So the idea would be each track runs for 1 quarter, allowing us to go deep, not shallow, while still keeping a consistent rhythm of engagement throughout the year. And this program has a structure, and participation essentially in each quarter includes a mix of, learning, exposure, and action, whether it's webinars like this, mentorship, tours, or in-person events. We want to ensure that it's not just theoretical, you're being prepared for the real world. And on top of that, we also want to have a platform that allows you to showcase your voice as youth, as students. So we will be actively reaching out, and we encourage you to reach out to us so that we can publish what it is that you're doing, the projects that you're thinking about, or ideas that you're working on. And then lastly, of course, create structured opportunities. So all this to say that this is not a passive program. It's designed to be hands-on, practical, and visible. And importantly, students are not left out. They are intentionally integrated into selected webinars and these activities because we are creating spaces that prepare you even before you launch your career. And I think of importance is that we don't see you as a separate demographic. We want you to be interacting and engaging with decision makers now, because that's how we can improve the market for you, prepare you for the opportunities, but also ensure you earn your place in the market. So for now, I will stop there and welcome my colleague Priska to talk about the next section, which is important.
Thank you, Nasra. Hi, everyone. We want to thank you for coming and attending this webinar. You've turned out in great numbers, which is really, really exciting. So first of all, we're going to start with who is KGBS, who are we, what are we? So we are a nonprofit, a non-governmental, member-based organization. And that's where you as the youth come in. The youth and student form a large aspect of our organization. So what makes us different? So if you go online, you're gonna see many green building councils. What makes KGBS different is the aspect that we integrate more than the E. So the E means the environmental aspect. So green buildings of the Kenya Green Building Council, that's one of our core aspects. So think about age trainings, think about LEAD. So that's one of it. We also incorporate the S, which is the social, and that's where the U as the youth come in to ensure inclusivity is also there. The next thing is governance. So governance, we also deal with policies and see how we can incorporate our governments so as to lead this transformation into sustainability. So that's why we have many projects from training to certifications to advocacy to mentorships. All those form a key aspect of Kenya Green Building Society. Now, a while back, we had the youth chapter. Yes. So the youth chapter had its own board, had its own governing council, but we did away with it because we figured why not put the youth into one table, the table with other individuals, with our corporate members, and that's what we did. So it's more inclusive. It's a holistic environment where we all welcome to bring our ideas on board as the youth, as students, so that we can make our KGBS community to thrive more. So moving on to the next slide, we're going to talk about why we as the young people matter. So let's start with the innovation aspect. Young people are full of ideas. We're willing to do many things, we're willing to research, we're willing to put in the effort to grow in our various careers, in our personal aspects. I remember when I was in second year idea, we had our professor, Engineer Kembigi at Report, who used to tell us you need to come up with something that is different. So he's the one that introduced more or less the aspect of sustainability to us. And that's where we are here tonight today. So innovation, we are curious. Go online, we research, we try to find opportunities, and that's what we need for KGBS. Because we all need to grow, right? So energy, again, to add on to what I said, we're willing to put in the work. We have momentum, and that momentum enables us to have the discipline and the motivation to see our projects to succeed, to see our projects to the end. Now, for the long-term impact, in most ESG reports, there's an aspect about inclusivity. So inclusivity means there's gender inclusion, the youth inclusion, but that's just about reporting. Now, is there impact? Now, that's the main question. So for our youth members, that's what this year, what we're trying to achieve with our 3 thematic tracks for Q1, Q2, Q3, and even Q4. So at the end of it all, we want us all to grow. We want us all to say, this year, I joined the KGBS. For instance, we have the committee working groups. I joined the working groups and we're able to do ABC. This will come in if you're pursuing a job opportunity, if you're trying to explore your skills, you want to grow in your professions. Because I've seen in the chat, we have engineers, we have architects, we have QS students, and also those who just graduated. So this is a good place to be, and why you matter, because we have to work hand in hand to ensure growth for KGBS and growth for you as our student member, our youth member. So let's go to the next slide. So the main question, why KGBS is the right platform? So first of all is credibility and presence. So at KGBS, we've put in the work throughout the years. We have a track record, and this is to say we have partners in this space. We have projects that we've done. So by being a member of KGBS, you get to directly be involved in some of these projects, right? So access to professionals and case study projects. One of the why, as Nasra started, is we lack the access point, the entry point. So at KGBS, we've got the access. Our member base is, we have got a lot of developers. We've got professionals such as the QS engineers, our seniors in the field. We've got financiers such as APSA, KCB, HFC. We've got developers like Tatu City, TLC. All these are open to you, right? So you just have to be proactive. You can come to us and tell us, hi, I've got this and this idea. How can we partner with it? I'd like an introduction with, let's say, a certain one of our members, and we can see how to make it work. So another reason why KGBS is the right platform is volunteering and entry pathways. So we've got some opportunities depending on the project, proposal, and event for you to volunteer. So I remember in our conference last year, we had a number of students and youths coming on board. And also we have our student ambassadors who you'll get to meet throughout the year as they'll be leading some of our tracks. So that is one of the ways you can volunteer. And this year, as Michael will take you through, we've got a lot of good and amazing and exciting projects. So yeah, I hope to see you all on board. Another way KGBS also comes in, we've got the age trainings. So I know this mostly appeals to the youths around. So if you're age trained, one way KGBS can help you get traction in the field is through the Green Buddy system. So what that means is once you've gone through the age training, we put you into a mentorship program with our seniors in the field, and you actually participate in a real life age program. So at the end of it all, you'll get a project to your name, like to add to your CVs, and also you have the skills. So that when you get your own project, you'll know where to start, and how to maneuver. Next thing, space to learn and contribute. As I said, we had our working groups. You might have seen these, it was circulating around. So most of you have joined and we're glad. So throughout the year, we're going to see how to put them to work. And then again, we have lots and lots of projects. So how are you going to become one of the members? We're going to look at, case in point, our most active members. because visibility is key as well. So if you're active, like I know most of our student ambassadors are, we're gonna identify you, we're gonna see you, and if there's an event, if there's a volunteering opportunity, if we have a project and we need our youth to come on board, we're going to reach out to you for us to be in this together. So I'm going to hand over to Alice, and then Michael will take you through some of these amazing events that we have lined up for you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Priska. Yes, so now it's good to understand who the programs, who is this program for. Now we have been mentioning about youth, it's about student, and that's the case. It has that in our membership we have that tier for the youth membership, and also we have the tier for the student membership. So that's the people who can benefit from this program. That means the university student from wherever year you are, maybe TVET student, yes, TVET student, whichever year you may be, and also the recent graduate and those who are starting their career. So those are the people this program is targeting. And I know as we continue, we shall get to see how are we going to do, how intentionally are we doing this thing. Yes, so proceeding, we have been mentioning about the quarterly themes, being guided by themes per each quarter. As Nasra mentioned, for quarter one, like giving an example, maybe for quarter one, our focus is on green building. Quarter two, sustainable finance. Quarter three is about alternative building materials and circularity. So those are our themes per quarter, and how we shall be doing, how we are doing this. We shall be having such webinars like this, 2 per month. That's two by weekly webinars. So to help you get to understand, I know there's a lot about sustainability, but now for us, we are focusing on a specific theme per quarter. So by quarter one, if you're interested in things relating to green buildings, through quarter one, through the webinar that you will be having, you shall get to understand now, maybe in theory, whatever we are talking about, when we talk about green building, what is it really? What do we really mean? The different certification that we have, what are they, and how can you maybe become an expert in maybe any certification that you would wish to become an expert in. So we shall be having those webinars. The other thing, we shall be having one sustainability in action tour. That's per quarter. So now, like for quarter one, focusing on green building, we shall have a one sustainability in action tour where we go to see in practice what's happening, what are we, when we talk about green buildings, what is being executed on ground. So that's an in action tour. So now this give us the practical skill, getting to see in practice what happened on ground. And we are so privileged because we have members who are engaging such projects. So we shall get to visit some of the projects and get to see what really happened. The other thing, we shall be having X spaces, one per month. So in these X spaces, where now we shall be digesting whatever we are doing. Now, let me just continue with the example I'm giving in green buildings. So when we are talking about green building, now maybe we had a webinar, maybe let's say next week we have a webinar on green building, maybe an introduction. So we shall also have a next space, and now by us, a space by us, where we shall be discussing what did you get, what question do you have when it comes to green building. Then we have our mentors, we have a mentorship circle. So maybe the question that we may be raising through the X spaces, through our mentors, they shall be helping us to answer those specific questions that we may be having. Yes, because maybe we may not know more, but that's the advantage that we have. We have people who are ahead of us, who are in real practice of whatever we are talking about. So they shall be guiding us through the journey. Then we shall have one in-person event. So this what we mean by in-person event is now like for the webinars, for the space, those are virtual event. So for in-person event, it's a physical event where we get to meet. Now I have mentioned about the mentorship super circle. So through those events, you get now to meet the mentors, and we shall be announcing the mentors coming week. So through now, let me continue giving the example in green building. So we have mentors in the area of green building. So through the webinars, we shall be interacting with them. And maybe in a webinar, you may not have much time to ask the question that you may be having. So through such event, the in-person event, you shall get that opportunity to ask that question that you may be having, even as proceeding even to ask for an opportunity from that person. Maybe you are interested in whatever that person they do day to day, and maybe they may be having opportunity. So through those in-person event, you get to interact and even proceed and even ask for further guidance in area that you may be wishing to be guided. Then we shall be having a weekly youth spotlight. And through this spotlight, we shall be maybe highlighting some of the work that you may be having, even highlighting your profile. Maybe there's something you're doing, you're having a project, it may be a school project, a personal project. Yes, for those who are doing in industry, maybe now you're being involved in one or in a green project. So you may wish that we get to highlight that. So we shall be requesting for such. We shall be having such opportunity. Now this increases your visibility. Now, if you mention I've been working on these green buildings, so people get to know you, and I believe the world get to reward you if it get to know what you are doing. So if we get to know the value that you are giving, then I believe the world has a good way of rewarding you. So through those spotlight, as we be highlighting your profile, the project that you may be undertaking, then we get to increase your visibility. Yes. So, and also maybe you have something that you would you would wish to raise to the nation, maybe the technology that is happening. Maybe there's challenges that we experience as a built environment, and you have that opinion, that you may wish that we get to share it. So through those weekly spotlight, we shall be having an opportunity as youths to be sharing whatever is in our mind. Then I have been mentioning about the mentorship super circle. Through now the super circle, and I'm so happy for the mentors that we have in the super circle, because they are bringing experience, not only the local experience. We have mentors from all over the world, and not just any other mentor, not just any other person, but people who are really into the practice, and high profile people. And I don't want to spoil this. We shall be getting to announce our mentors coming week. On that day, you shall get to see the mentors that we have for maybe now, maybe for Q1, when we are talking about green building. So those when we are talking about the thematic themes per quarter, that's how we shall be doing them. So also now highlighting on the youth spotlight, and as I have mentioned, we get to highlight the profiles, the ideas that you may be having, the project that you may be undertaking. I believe it's a webinar now that we are having both student and youth. So maybe you are youth there, and now maybe you are lucky, you go to a project where it's a green project, you are learning, and you'd wish to other youths to learn with you on whatever maybe you're doing on site. So we shall be requesting for such, and we get to highlight you in those youth spotlight, which shall be done on a weekly basis. Yes. So, and now maybe you are there and you may be asking yourself, maybe even you have never heard about KGBS. The first time you heard KGBS is having a webinar for the youths, and wondering how can you become a member. So actually you can become a member right now. If you wish to become a member, you can become a member right now. That's our pay bill. If you get to use the pay bill, then you enter your name. Then our membership for the youth, it goes at 2,000, and you have seen the benefits that you shall begin to enjoy as a youth member. And maybe this may lead you to the next job, the next opportunity that you are looking into through this membership. You may land to your next opportunity. So, and maybe a quick win on becoming a member right now at this moment. We are having all the activities has been highlighted in the previous slide. All the activities that we'll be doing throughout the quarter. We have the secretariat that shall be supporting, but we are having youth committees. Each quarter we shall be having youth committees that shall be helping us doing all the activities that we have listed in the previous slide. So if you wish to become a youth a committee member, one of the requirements we had is that you must become a member. You must be a member. So if you wish, we run this program with you. If you wish to become a committee member in this program, the program that we are launching today, you can proceed and make the payment. And now this unlock that opportunity to become a committee. Actually, the deadline is today. Today is the deadline to submit your request to become a youth committee member, and we shall be announcing those who will get that opportunity come next week. So if you are there and you would wish to become a committee member, I would kindly request that you proceed to make the payment. And also you can do also the same through our website. If you go to, just search KGBS, you shall get to see the instruction on how to become a member by joining the movement. Then you register as a youth member, and through that you get to enjoy the benefits as a youth member. Now I'll allow my colleague Bwana Michael, who shall be talking about the student. I will allow him go next. So karibu sana, my brother.
Okay, thank you, Wallace, for giving me this opportunity. Firstly, let me start by thanking all of you for joining in this webinar. And permit me to also thank all those who have spoken before me, because they have made my work easier. So I think mine will be it will be more of a repetition with some few new things that will come along. Students, I would like to start by talking about who qualifies to join student membership in KGBS. And as Wallace had mentioned earlier, is that whether you are in a university or a TVET institution, you qualify to become a member of the Kenya Green Building Society. And I remember last year, we had a meeting with CRESA, and then one of the participants asked, so which courses qualify to be in the membership of KGBS? I want to say that people within the built environment, students within the built environment have an upper hand, but we are not limited to that because sustainability is something that is wide in terms of its scope. For instance, if you check a bank like ABSA, they have a department that is dedicated to sustainable finance. So you get that people who are also in finance have an opportunity to get careers within the space of sustainability. Having mentioned that, I would like to proceed to gains you are going to get as a KGBS student member. The first one, we have professional exposure. So under professional exposure, as it has been earlier mentioned again, we have mentorship super circles where we'll be having monthly webinars. And in these monthly webinars, we are going to have mentors who are experienced in various themes as we shall have decided on a quarterly basis. We have 4 quarters, and if you look at quarter 1, we have green buildings. Quarter 2, we have sustainable finance. So we are going to have those mentorships. Number 2, under professional exposure, the sustainability in action tours that we are going to have. I think Wallace has also mentioned those when he was making his presentation. And one good thing about this sustainability in action tours is that it's going to be connected with our quarterly theme. So let's say, for instance, if quarter 1 now we are talking about green buildings, the tour we shall have, it shall be to a project that has either been green certified or is under construction, already having received a preliminary EDGE certification. Another gain you are going to get as a student is joint mentorship and career opportunities and orientation, because as well as mentioned again, these super circles that we have and these activities that youth are going to have, students are going to be included in them. So it means we are going to get that opportunity also as students to interact with the youth members of KGBS in various events. Another gain you are going to get as a student is belonging to a community and a network, of course, of professionals and youth members, individual members. All those, you are going to have access to that network. And then we also have weekly student spotlights. For the weekly student spotlights, we are going to highlight stories of what our students are doing, maybe if it's in terms of projects, and if it is something that you would like, an idea you have on sustainability, you would like us to post on our socials, you can just email us, and then your idea is spotlighted on a weekly basis. Of course, if we spotlight for one student member this week, the next is going to be another person. So if you have those projects or ideas, you can just email us, and then we'll help you to spotlight it. And then another advantage of being a student member of KGBS is that we have early leadership opportunities. And by saying early leadership opportunities, I mean we are going to be involved in a number of activities within the KGBS. Let's say, for example, if we have an event and then you volunteer, as my colleague Priska mentioned earlier on. And that's not the only thing. We can also have, I know right now we have student ambassadors, and student ambassadors are going to be in for a year, and let's say next year maybe you would like to be a student ambassador. It means that you also have an opportunity to be part of KGBS, and that exposes you to real world leadership and sustainability solutions. Okay, thank you, Wallace. So who are we? I think that one was already mentioned. So to come to the end, I want to tell us that you can still become a KGBS student member for you to be able to enjoy all this that I've mentioned. Of course, there's also volunteer opportunities. I remember I had not mentioned that, but there is volunteer opportunities that you can be able to come and help us as the KGBS. So you have an opportunity to become a student member at a subsidized rate of 500 Kenya shillings. That is, it was initially actually 2,000 when we had combined student with youth, but through the vision that our CEO had to empower young people, our student member rate is greatly subsidized to 500 shillings annually. To come to conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell us that for me, I have checked the calendar and the activities we have, and I'm quite confident, and I'm really convicted that if you are going to be persistently involved in our activities across the year, then by the time we get to December, you will be well equipped to pick up the sustainability careers that are really emerging within the market space. For us, we have shown much willingness to involve you in them. So it's now up to us for also to be willing to get involved in these activities so that we learn and get to see the real world solutions in terms of sustainability. Thank you. I will stop there.
Michael. Yes, so that's on how you can become a student member, KGBS, and it's very interesting that our CEO got one category for the youth, but now at least now we have the subsidized membership for the student. So, and it's a great thing. So for now, I would wish to welcome anyone who may have a question to ask. Maybe you have a question, maybe there's somewhere in the presentation that you would wish to question. So I give this opportunity to you. So I shall unmute. I shall give you, I think you can request on your side if you have something on. Also, the chat box, I believe, is open. So you have anything to ask, you can, I think you can raise your hand, and on our side, can give you the opportunity. And also you can drop your question in the chat box, and we shall get to see them and get to answer them. So as we have seen, it's a journey where KGBS is preparing us for you being a student to becoming translating now to becoming a youth member. Then from there you become a young professional. It's a program that now as a student you get that exposure. Now becoming a youth member, you get now getting into the practice, getting now that like through the mentorship super circle, getting to hear from those people who are practicing, and from there through those people you can get even the opportunity and become now a young professional. Yeah, so that's the journey, and that's all that we are working in back in our minds, knowing that our focus is to see these students become a young profession in the area of sustainability. Yeah, so believe so. In the meantime, you can be dropping your question, then we shall be tackling them. I see there's some. I've seen a pop-up of a question. Let me get to see it. Is there? Okay, there's someone who has. I believe it's Faith. Faith is asking, what's the difference between the youth membership opportunity and the student member who joined KGBS? Maybe I can take that one. So the difference between you being a youth member and another person being a student member, first, as a youth member, youth membership is for those who are done with school and in the category of being a youth, that's to the cap of 25 years. So if you are done with school and now you wish to join that space of sustainability, so that's the first difference. Now you being done with school, and now for the student member, a person who is still in school. The other difference between the student member and the youth member, we have been talking about maybe the mentorship super circle. So for mentorship super circle, maybe even for the webinar that we may be having, some will be just which shall be just for the youth, and some shall be just for the student. Because now for a student and a youth, they're in two categories. So for a student is looking into this exciting idea about sustainability, getting to know about sustainability now. But now for a youth, the question is maybe that person has the exposure about sustainability. So whatever that person may be wanting is now an opportunity to get to practice. So that's now the exposure. Now through the mentorship and all the engagement that we'll be having. So for a student, mostly is to get that exposure through volunteering. But now for a youth member, we are trying to see how you can partake even in a green project, getting even having internship or attachment into opportunity where they are doing about green building. So Faith, I believe you are answered. If so, you can react with a thumbs up. I believe Faith is answered. Then we have another question from Sylvia. Kindly clarify on how to register for the KGBS Youth Quarterly Working Group and what Q3 alternative building material circularity entails. So for you being considered in the quarterly working group, you need to send that interest, that 100-word showing interest. So stating why you're interested in that quarter, in that topic that that theme for that quarter, and how you would think it shall build you or you wish to contribute in regards to that quarter. So you share that email through the secretariat at kgbs.co.ke. Yeah, secretariat, I believe one of my colleagues can help me in that. So someone can just have down the email where those interested in the quarter can share their interest. Yes, also. So I see another question from Bevi. The question is, when does the membership expire? The membership do expire and it's on annual basis. After year, you shall be required to renew your membership. I see someone have raised the hand. Maybe I can allow the mic. Yes, let me see who is this. So Claire, I have unmuted you, so you can proceed to ask your question.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
First of all, thank you for giving us this opportunity for the youth and students. It will be very beneficial for us. I'm just curious about the Green Body initiative. Is there somewhere you apply after you are done with the certification? How does it work? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire, for that. Priska, maybe you can answer that one.
Claire. Hi, Claire. So to qualify for the green body system, so one, you have to be an age expert. We hold age expert trainings every quarter, once a quarter. So what that means is you will have received a training certificate from IFC Age and you've done your exam, you've passed. So what you need is just experience to get you started. So we do announce applications or openings for the green body system. So that's when you'll express your interest. This will be on email. Again, the secretariat at kgbs.co.ke. And again, we're open, so you can always email us. We have some ongoing projects that have green body mentees ongoing, but we can always put you in somewhere. So just email us. That is if you're already an age expert. Because then if you're already an age expert, that means that mentorship and experience will be able to help you fast track your career progression in age certification. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Priska, for that. And I believe, Claire, you answered. There is a question I'm seeing around here on student ambassador. The question is there a cap for number of student ambassadors? And also, how do one become a student ambassador? So I believe Michael can take that one.
Okay, thank you, Alice, for giving me an opportunity to respond to that question. So I believe I'll start by answering on how one can become a student ambassador. So for you to become a student ambassador, all you need is to be a KGBS member. That is one thing that we really look at. And then, of course, a KGBS student member. And then we see you are committed in our events and any other activities. And then we usually do advertise if we want student ambassadors, or if we can recognize you from the way you have engaged with you become a student ambassador. For those who are our ambassadors today, all of them shared the emails requesting to serve as student ambassadors, and so we brought them on board. Wallace, I think you can talk about the next phase of the question, the second part. Can you remind me?
So the question was, is there a cap for number, or the cap for number of student ambassadors?
Okay, thank you. So I'll say that there is no specific number that is, you can say that this is the maximum that we should have. But what we are looking at is to ensure that at least in every university or activity institution, we have a student ambassador who is going to help us, even in the campus outreach, because we are looking to collaborate with various student organizations to also reach out to those who are in campus, whether it is CRESA in UON or ASA in JQuat or RECOSA in KU. I know they also have Construction Student Association. So these ambassadors are supposed to come at least from each and every university so that they can help us streamline the activities that we also intend to have during our campus outreach. We don't have a maximum number, but if there will be opportunities for various campuses or TVET institutions, I think it will be upon us to announce the opportunities that are there, and then after that, you can apply.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael, for that. And I believe those people who had the question around becoming a student ambassadors, you are well answered. Then there's another question on how to, I have seen someone ask about becoming a member, how you do register. So you can just make the payment through the pay bill displayed there. And also one of the team member can drop, you can also share the information through the email that has been attached in one of the texts here. And also we can share our office line. I believe one of the team member can share the office line where you can reach out. Also, there's a question on benefits. I've seen a question on benefits of becoming or joining the youth committee that I mentioned. So as a youth committee member, basically you are helping us in running the program that we have. So in outreach, doing the outreach and making sure that the programs become a success. On your end, we shall give you a recommendation letter. And also it's easy for you getting that hand or getting connect even with our mentor in the mentor support circle, because everything now we are compared to another person, you are closer to that person compared to a member who is not in the committee. So it's also help you build your leadership skill. And now yes, basically get to build your leadership skills as we get to organize all the activities planned for that quarter. Yes, so and you can show your interest through the email that was shared at secretariat@kgbs.co.ke. Yes, also there's a question someone asked about ABMT, about alternative building materials and circularity. What does that entails? As the name state, it's all about, now that's what our aim is on, maybe technology and maybe building materials that are sustainable in a way that doesn't harm the environment as such. That's what we mean. That shall be our focus, getting maybe to those industry players who are into the area of circularity, producing materials that are less harmful to the environment, and maybe the technology that is promoting sustainability. Basically, that's what that quota entails. Yeah, so I see there's a hand here. Let me see who this person. Ian. So let me give you. So Ian, then we have Bevin. So Ian, you can unmute. Then Bevin, after Ian, you can raise your question. Ian, please, you can proceed to ask your question. You can unmute on your side. Okay, if Ian, you are not ready, we can proceed to Bevin. Bevin, you can proceed and ask your question.
Thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to clarify. I asked the question about the expiry of the membership, and I just wanted to clarify if by a year you mean if I become a member in let's say September 2025, does it mean that in January I will renew my membership? Yeah, that was just what I wanted to clarify.
Okay, thank you so much, Ian, for that. Or Bevin for that. Ian, are you there? So Michael shall be answering that one. Yes, so Ian, if you are still there, you can ask your question. Okay, so Michael, you can proceed and answer Bevin on that question.
Okay, thank you, Wallace. So membership within the KGBS is at an annual basis. And when we say an annual basis, we mean that your membership will expire on the date that you joined and made your payment. So if you made your payment last year around July, so it will expire this year around the same time. That is, if it was on July 15th, it expires on July 15th. But of course, we are going to notify you earlier on so that you can also plan to renew before it expires. Let's say if it's 3 months to expiry, we are going to notify you. 1 month to, we can also notify you so that you get prepared. But it is the time you joined the following year at the same date, that's when your membership gets to expire.
Thank you very much for that clarification. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael, for that. Then I see a question from Terry. She's asking, if you become a member, are you guaranteed of the internship or the attachment opportunity? Yeah, so for that, it is not guaranteed, but we are in engagement with our members, those corporate members, and there's hope in that. There's a lot of engagement happening. So if we get to learn those opportunities, those we shall give first priority to our members. So for the internship and attachment, it's something doable, and there's a lot of hope in that. And when we get those opportunities, we shall give our student and the youth member the first priority. Yes. Ian, are you still there? Ian, you can unmute on your side. Okay, also I see Judy. Judy, let me give you the access. So Judy, you can proceed and ask your question.
Good evening to everyone. My question is there a deadline for registration, or one can register anytime? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judy, for that. There's no deadline for registration, but now maybe for the programs that we'll be having. So like now we are having the youth committee. So if you are not registered right now, we may not consider you because right now you're not a member, but the membership is open through the year. You can become a member at any point of the year. Yes. So Ian, you can unmute on your side if you have, or you can have your question here in the chat box, then you shall get to answer it. Anyone else with a question? Okay, we'll take that silence, meaning that we are all good. So with that, I wish to welcome Madam Priska, who shall give a vote of thanks and conclude the webinar for us.
Hi everyone. So we finally come to the end. I think, Susan, if you're a youth member, how are you going to benefit? So to just go over an overview, our youth members will get to volunteer in our projects, proposals, research, and events that we have, and also have how do I call it? Proximity to one of our seniors in the field, that is a professional, who's an architect student, as an QS student, as a youth member who's looking to grow in the field. So you're going to have that network. Okay. So yeah, please give us a call and we're going to tell you more about it. So this was more of an introductory session, going over through the events that we have lined up through the year. We're also going to share our calendar of events so that you can see the details, as well as we're going to share our mentors list next week on Thursday. So have a look at it. Also, if you have an idea of who can be a good mentor, please tell us so that we can reach out to her or him so that they can also share their expertise to other students and the youth. For instance, I know we have CPM Brenda on call. I know she does the good work on site. So we can have a call so that she can explain to us her day-to-day activities, what she does, challenges, and how to overcome them. So yeah, that's it. We do have a WhatsApp group. It's open to our members. So if you're a member and you're not on our WhatsApp group, please give us a call. We're gonna add you. Our YouTube channel is currently dormant, but we're also working on it. We have our X channels, IG, LinkedIn, where I know most of us are active. So please check them out, and you're going to have and you're going to see updates in real time. Okay, so that's it. There's someone who asked something about guarantee of job opportunity. So that might be an attachment, an internship, an early career professional opportunity. So we're working towards something. We're going to announce it once it's done, hopefully by end of February. And as well as said, we are going to work with our corporate members. So there's some avenues where you can work as a student, as a youth in the built environment space. That is in law, in finance, as a developer, as a consultant. So we're working with our members. You can find our members online, and hopefully each and every one of you will get to be where they decide. If you're in sustainable development, we do have someone for you. If you're in architectural space, we also have our members who are willing to take interns. So that's it. My ask of you guys is if you have a proposal, if you have a project, if you have a research opportunity, if you have an event, we love events over here. So you can reach out to us and we can see how to collaborate, how to bring you on board. I know there are some opportunities where only organizations can apply for. So if you see such an opportunity, you can tell us, hey, I've seen this opportunity, but only an organization can apply. So as an organization, we can apply for that. And since you're the one who brought it on board, what that means is you are going to be part of the pioneering team. We also had a meeting today with one of our great developers. So we're planning a sustainability in action tour. We also have a membership meet at the end of January and so many other events. So Wallace is going to share the calendar of events after this. So be sure to check it out. Judy's asking, please share your WhatsApp group channel. So we don't have a channel yet, but we do have a group. So just call us at our official number and we'll be able to add you. So with that, I want to end this call right here and thank you for joining us. Thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure having you with us. So that's it, guys. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Bye.